and welcome back again. Video number, let me just slightly change that look, number 106. So we're here for your Pilates core work. We've done the strength. We're now doing the actual trunk stability system using the Pilates technique. Welcome everyone. Video 105, good morning Maria, is about adding on that whole Pilates-esque understanding, bringing back breath to the body. And here we go. Susan, welcome back again. And Susan's got a lot going on today, hasn't she? So let me know if you're in the room, because I'd love to welcome you and have a view of how I'm teaching. We've got Lorna and Patricia back again. So hopefully you felt hot and almost sweaty for the first part of the warm-up. This time we go into a much more breathing to Pilates-esque. The rules apply. Don't do anything that creates niggles and twinge. Hello, Leslie. Good to see you in the room. Welcome back from Spain, and Ken's here again. You will need for this part of your workout your head cushion, that's all. I'm keeping my glute band on. It gives me that residual feedback. But again, as I've said in the previous one, it's not essential. Whichever way, we'll get into it, ready for the whole heated abdominal workout. Here we go. Just switching on another recording. So if you find yourself on your mat, you're going to have it set with the head cushion ready. I'm at an angle again to give you a better view. Using your equipment though, line your feet up with the very edge of your mat. You don't have to be at a weird angle. You kind of aren't looking at a screen in a position where you want to be seen. So we lie the spine down. We're always going to pick up, if you're in part of the first video, 105, we're more or less picking up where we left off, which will do you a whole lot of good. Find that pelvic connection with your breathing muscles into your core. I've got my legs slightly wider. I need to not assume people are doing this warmed up, because people will be doing this at the end of their work day. Whichever way, hands by your sides, here's another 20 minutes. Breathe out, pelvic tilt, feel the pelvic imprint of your lower back using pelvic floor, and then slide up. Knock the chin to the throat and pick up your legs into tabletop. Legs in tabletop, using the thigh band, keeping your imprint. Exhale, curl, and inhale, uncurl. Breathing out, rolling ribcage spine up. Breathing in. Remember, you follow the breath. So you start the breath and then you roll up, keeping symmetry behind you from left to right sacrum. Exhaling up. And we stay. Reach your arms. You're breathing in 2, 3, 4, 100 counting. Breathing out 2, 3, 4. Crown of the head to the ceiling. Arms are pushing as if against springs, and the movement of the arms comes from your armpits as you're inhaling and exhaling. We're not going to do a full 100 here. This is just part of our warm-up repertoire. You're keeping a gentle imprint, and at the very least, even if you can't beat your arms, you're holding the back of the thighs, breathing deeply in and out. If it's in your neck, you know to take the head down and come back up as and when. Okay, we take it from there then, stretch the legs to the ceiling and do your other part of the 100 with your legs straight. If your lower back is overly tilted and tucked, you'll find this goes into your lumbar spine or your sacrum. The hamstrings lengthen, the tailbone knows where the floor is, the imprint is there. If it's in your neck, keep your head down, and if you want, curl up and uncurl. This is simply a warming up breathing muscles with your core. You experience it as abdominals. Alright, this is the final, whether you're beating or rolling up and down. Final moment with your legs reaching as part of the warm-up, and you're going to bring your legs down. People, place your feet to the floor. Have your thighs open, know where your heels are. We're going to hip roll. I'll remove my head cushion for this. Arms are reaching, flat palms, breathe in. Exhaling from neutral, roll through the spine using pelvic floor, followed by internal oblique. Stretch against the band on the outsides of your feet, breathe in, and breathing out, reverse that journey down again. Your aim is to find your hamstring and glute connection to your trunk. Breathing out, pelvic tilt to curling, rolling spine up. Have a breath in, the neck is long. you feel the space behind the neck and the mat, and your shoulder blades are flat. Exhaling. Notice the pelvic position as it tilts and the symmetry, making sure you ask both sides of the pelvic area and obliques to work in harmony with each other, maintaining a resistance to twist in any direction. Exhaling. Pulling the band sideways, having the sides of your feet. You may feel your arches, particularly if you're someone whose arches are less active. Okay, so you flat feet people. And we go again, 2 more. Breathe out. The mobilizing sequence is though you pick up your spine 1 vertebra at a time, creating that space by activating the core and finding your hamstring to core connect you, and let's leave that be. All right, walk the feet back together, breathe in. Breathe out, imprint the lower back. Breathe in, breathe out, curl up through the head, neck and shoulders and pull your right leg to tabletop. Keeping the imprint, breathe and stretch your other leg against the band. Inhale, breathe out, slow motion switch. Keeping aligned, switch on the breath out. Sniff in, breathe out. Keeping true, tracking of the thighs, keeping the rib cage obliques, not overly tucking under. It's your rib cage abdominals, that spine, the rib cage thoracic spine that creates the flexion. And breathe in. 2 more. You're waking up the obliques. Because the band is in place, you're working your flexor when you pull your knee to you, and the other leg working the extensor, the hamstring from behind. The more you can tune into the actual band, the more benefit you get with the band to the hip. Okay, people? And keep your right leg to you. I've uncurled again. I'm going to keep my left leg out, put my left hand behind my head. So I'm going to curl left to right. Exhaling. I freeze frame my legs, therefore keeping continuous flexion at the hip and the knee, keeping my pelvic reach from left to right, so I've got a true non kind of twisty pelvic area, and it's the rib cage rolling and shortening diagonally, so my left rib is to my right hip bone or thigh bone. And we're ready to change sides. I switch, set up my legs, freeze frame them, and if you keep your left arm down, it helps you ground the left pelvic area, so the hip bone, thigh bone. There can't be any sense of pinching or tension, and you must breathe. So the rotation comes from the rib cage to the neck and nowhere near the lower back. You could have had your head back in place, which reduces the range down and almost keeps you in your obliques. The more tired your body gets, the more breath you need to afford it. Last time. And pull both legs in. Have a little massage from left to right, and then gripping onto your legs as it were, bring yourself up seated. Sitting upright, let your feet go, you're obviously lining up with the edge of the mat. We've got our seated C-shaped spine and back stretch. Sit as tall as you can. Remember, if your hamstrings are short, your lower back tight, I realise you'll be further back than I'm demonstrating. The rules will be no pain. Here we go. I'm going to keep you holding onto your knee joint. Your thighs are wider than normal because of the glute band being activated. Exhale then, pull your chin to your throat and bend over your breast area, your pec area, not your lower back. Breathe into there. Breathe out and return back again, pulling your shoulder blades together and have a look at the ceiling. Breathe in, shoulders away from that, breathe out. Forwards flexing spine, breathe in. Out from the rib cage, shoulder blades, and grow to your tallest self, chasing away the stiffness of probably a very busy weekend, getting the garden ready for lockdown winter. Big breath in and breathe out. Lift the sternum, reach, 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 and relax. You're ready now for C-shaped spine work. You can keep, in fact, keep holding here. I've made a change of moment. Breathe in. Breathing out then, rather than leaning forwards to bend the ribs, start to roll back. Your feet can roll through the ankles. Stay, keep the hands connected. Breathe in. Breathe out and bend your elbows to drive the spine back. Inhale, sit tall. Exhaling, create some rhythm. Don't grip your bottom. Use your pelvic floor and the obliques. And you're looking for symmetry of response. And the breath out to flex and return up. Inhaling, backwards lean, pelvic rotation, rolling. Exhaling. If you'd rather do a full breath, to here, breathe in, exhale, and reverse back up. Inhale, lean, exhale, flexion, pelvic floor, oblique wall. Breath in, breathe out, and up. We're going to lean back and stay in a moderate tilt. Now you're going to bring both hands to one side and just stretch. Both hands come together. Keep the thigh against the band. You're on the back of your sit bones. And it's a small range of movement. Your shoulders are relaxed. It almost appears to someone looking as though you're stretching something, not that you're under huge tension through the oblique area of the abs and the side bottom. You've two more. If you focus on one thing, it's the hand pulling and pushing up and down the thigh, other side. As my elbow goes back, so it's my left elbow because I'm left side, and my right hand just gently tracking the outer thigh, shin area over the side of the knee, helping my rotation to be more exacting. You don't want to rotate anything except the armpit up to the neck, maybe a bit lower down, but don't think lower because you'll probably end up in your lumbar. Two more. Breathing, one more. And centre. Breathe, exhale, come all the way up. Stretch your legs. Breathe in, relax your shoulders away from your neck. Exhaling, forwards, nod the chin. And then reach to your feet, bending only the ribcage part of the spine. Have a little stretch with the inhale, exhale. If you have to have your legs bent, that is completely fine. But you all need to breathe into the back of the ribcage, sides of the ribcage. And back up. All right, from that moment there, you're going to come straight onto hands and knees. Putting your hands under your shoulders, having your, go to a diagonal again, knees under your hips. I'm using the glute band to make sure that my thigh bones stay tracked. On this one then, all fours, straight spine, not tucked under. Take the left leg away and pull it down again. It stays bent, it comes sideways. When we do the side line work, it's as though this is like plan, isn't it? You're working the same muscle sequence as you push the thigh bones away and pull them back. Exhale, trunk stabilise, legs go back and forth. Obviously, there should be no pain in the sacrum. The spine can stay true. Last two. You're doing more or less 10, and you're only moving in response to a breath out that stabilises, and your armpits feel very much connected. You have the other leg. Check everything's level. Now my right thigh, abducts out. Refuse to squeeze your glutes. When you're doing this single leg work in hands and knees, my right leg's moving, therefore my left hand could physically be off because it's your all fours pointed work, isn't it? We try and take one of the limbs out of the equation to challenge the stability system against the load of a leg or an arm moving. Last one. And let that go. Your next position is going to be down onto forearms. In forearms, take your foot out slightly wider than your elbow. Keep your armpits over your elbow, then take your other leg out. So I'm wider than my elbows with my feet. I'm going to pull back and forwards. Slide the bottom back knees touch. Reach forwards, keeping your shoulder blades, obliques. It's a bit like a moving plank. Now it can't be in your front of shoulder or in your lower back. Exhale. On the reformer, we push the carriage in and out. Here, we press against the ground, we resist gravity, we refuse to sink as you pull yourself forwards and back. Your armpit to oblique is really what you're looking to achieve. Chest opening, widening, triceps involved. Last one, refuse to let your tummy go and sit your bottom right back, but reach your arms as far forward as your shoulder allows and breathe deeply in and out. You have your final exercise, which is the sequence lying on your front, dart, swim type thing. This is to get your upper back. So your next position, I'm going to be at an angle, but make sure my alignment's correctly angled as I take myself down onto my front. Because you're able to lie normally on your mat, you can reach the edges of your mat and know that they're there. Because you're wearing a glute band, if you are indeed, have your feet wide enough to feel it without them being massively, or should I say your thighs wide. Place your hands under your shoulders, and to get yourself ready for a really good activation of the upper back and the abdominals continuously, let the nose point to the floor and you can start your breathing connection. The in through the nose and the out through the mouth. Reaching the legs without pinching the back side cheeks. The bum cheeks don't clench together. Your first few breaths, your pelvic floor, pubic bone imprint and shoulder blades drawing down the back. Now visualise the thighs reaching further away without the legs lifting off the floor and the hands being really light. That starts to bring about upper back stability with the abdominals supporting the spine, and then take the hands so that now your palms of the hands face the ceiling, ideally off the floor, but if they're on the floor that's fine. You breathe in, exhaling, shoulder blades squeeze together, palms reach higher than the thighs. Inhale, shoulder blades open. Exhale. We did this on Friday. I make no apology for keeping this in the programme. See if you can now alternate. So one shoulder blade rotates in and then goes back to more neutral, then the other. Without letting one of them drop. Breathe out, legs are reaching, one shoulder blade slides, inhale, goes back to neutral. I'm not letting my shoulder lift and drop. I'm sliding the scapula into my mid-back, or between the, heading towards the spine, and then returning it. Now the next time I take my right shoulder blade back, I'm going to turn and look over the right side of my shoulder and side bend as if along a horizontal plane of movement. In other words, the chin stays drawn in, the back of the shoulder blade rhomboid, some of the lats are still working, and it keeps the range of movement in the side ribs. I'm going to the other side now. Exhaling. Your ribs flex. It's a way of doing a side bend, and if you keep your legs energized and lengthened, it goes nowhere near the lower back and will assist you during this COVID season of despair. Okay, last time, and let that go. My hands are going into my shoulders. We'll finish this section with the equivalent of an extension of the swan. So you'll nod the chin and reach it then forwards and then pushing into your hands. Take your body up to wherever you can physically go to without it being in your lower back. Breathe in, breathe out, lengthen the legs. You've got tension through the back of the thigh, through the upper back. To come down, you feel your elbows bend and you lay the abdomen down. Nod the chin, breathe in. Imagine knocking a marble with the nose, pulling the shoulder blades together. Stay. Huge breaths. And then stretch the oblique abdominal area down with spinal support all the way down. Reach your arms. So have your final extend of the body. Ready for hands coming under the chest. Then your final bend. So do both range of the spine. Huge inhale, exhale. And gradually slide the hands under your shoulders to where your knees are. And slowly bring yourself back to a more conscious you. Well done, and thank you. I think that's a really decent workout. If you're going to be trying to do one a day, or the two together as one, that's definitely going to give you what you need. And I think most of us, if you're coming here once a week, suddenly you'll gain the acceleration of your physical Pilates core, ready for when we come back just before Christmas. Stay well and see yourselves here same time tomorrow, and a similar type of workout, which will be strength and power the first part and Pilates core the second part. Be well, enjoy what there is to enjoy. Bye for now.